folks. Alright, how to write a good cover letter, resume, and how to do a good interview. Packing a lot in this little video here. Okay, I just came through a successful cover letter, resume interview myself, and not only that, but where I work, the Hawthorne Borough, we just recently hired secretaries, so I've just seen both ends. I've been on the receiving end of the interview and on the interviewing end. So, here's what I learned. First of all, cover letters are tricky. I always go online to hunt for samples, and I finally found a sample that I thought was gonna work. And it didn't really tell you, like, to lay out your accomplishments, your interests, your skills. In a way, some ways, the cover letter is sort of expanding upon the major points in your resume. But here, I'll go over this in the a screenshot of the resume, sample resume I used to form my cover letter and my resume. Sample cover letter. Okay, the address it's in block format, like I showed you. That's where I got my sample. First, you put your address up at the top. You know, this sample didn't put their phone number and email, but we'll let that go. But add your phone number and email. Okay, then the date in the middle, and then you put the name and address of the company you are sending it to. And I guess you try to always get the correct name of the human resources person, whoever's hiring. Okay. And it's a business letter, so I guess you would put a colon after the Dear Mr. Lewis. Okay. Paragraph 1. I'm seeking a marketing internship and learned about your company from your ad in Advertising Age. You can say how you learned about the job. I'm currently a junior at the University of California, Irvine, pursuing a degree in business administration with a specialization in marketing. To see next, that you tell them what you are currently doing and your interests, and you say, I'm very interested in joining your team and using my social media and direct marketing knowledge in a cutting-edge company like XYZ Incorporated. See? You say you want the job, why you want the job. Okay, paragraph 2. As the Vice President of Membership for the UCI Marketing Club, I increased membership this year by 30% using Facebook and Twitter to reach out to students across the campus. For my project in marketing research, I analyzed the marketing campaigns of several of the employers who recruit on our campus to see which methods were most effective for increasing student turnout at their events. Based on these experiences, I have developed a strong understanding of how to connect with the college-age community, which I am sure would be helpful to your clients. You give your pitch, you tell them how your experience and your special skills would help their company. Okay, this one's just a simple 3-paragraph. He did 2 talking about himself, how he learned about the company, what he's doing, what his interests are, what he can do for their company. And then he closes out the letter with, I've included my resume and look forward to talking with you in more detail about how I might contribute to your team. I will contact you. Well, you don't contact them. No, don't do that. Just say you're you would like to meet with them to discuss your qualifications, and I can really contribute to your team, Some final cover letter tips. Always send a cover letter with your resume or application. Tailor your letter. Explain why you want to work for that specific organization or position. Exemplify clear and concise writing skills. Show the connection between your experience and the position requirements. Use the same font and header as your resume for a professional look. Okay, let's take a look at my cover letter. Okay, first, let's do the block format. It's just simple. Block format means no indentation, just everything is lined in a straight block, just a line left. That works. Okay, top of your resume, you have your name, your address, your phone number, and your email address, your most professional email address. Don't have it be something silly or unprofessional. And then the date. Okay, then you have the inside address. Your inside address here is the address of the company you're applying to. So I have their address and the email of the human resources person I'm sending it to. I emailed. Okay. Now here's what I said. Dear Mr. W., I'm applying for the position of part-time office manager, social writer for the Leader Vindicator in New Bethlehem. After reviewing the job description in your newspaper advertisement, I believe my skills and qualifications would make me a good candidate for this position. Currently, I'm working on building a business in publishing, education, and entertainment. A part-time position in the related field of news and office work would fit well into my schedule and enable me to put many of my skills to use. So see, in paragraph 1, you say what you're applying for and why you're applying for it. And then you say what you are doing and why you want this job. Okay? And then next paragraph, you continue to expand on your abilities and your experience. Make a pitch for why they should hire you. The year I spent on the writing staff of the Du Bois Business College newspaper gave me experience in writing and teamwork that would make me a good employee. In 2015, I started my writing, editing, and self-publishing career with 2 novellas and 2 short stories published as Kindle ebooks. In 2017, I produced my first novella as a paperback, and in 2018, I published a full-color, 260-page family history book. I also handled the sales of the family book, DVD, and coloring book, and personally worked with the dropshipping facilities to cut costs. See? Make yourself sound good. Use those highfalutin adjectives. Okay? So yes, then we go on to paragraph 3. I guess talking about your work experience. The positions I have held at the Calvary United Methodist Church in Hawthorne, PA, in addition to pianist, include assistant treasurer 2015 to 2018, lay speaker scheduling, and editor of the Hawthorne Church's newsletter 2018 to present. Okay, some of my other activities include serving as the secretary of the Hawthorne Centennial Committee 2016-2017, serving as a member of Hawthorne Borough Council 2016 to present, and producer of 2 feature-length documentaries for the Red Bank Valley Historical Society. I am also an active YouTuber who produces regular content on Adele Celeste TV. Haha. See what that job has done to my regular content. So that paragraph is your hobbies and special skills, things that you have done, memberships, clubs, anything special you have done. And then finally, we close out with you requesting an interview. And I think I copied this from one of the samples. I would like the opportunity to meet with you and discuss my qualifications in greater detail and how I could contribute to your team. Thank you for your consideration. Sincerely, Adele Smith. Okay? So, that is your cover letter. And as I'm sure all of us were like, cover letter, resume. But I said, keep it simple. And as I studied this letter, I saw a definite pattern in how the cover letters were written. So you sort of start off telling about yourself and what you're doing right now, and then like your ambitions and your interests, and you sort of wrap it all up toward the end, and you're asking for the interview, saying, hope we can discuss this further at the interview. Thank you very much. And of course I may have copied a couple lines from the sample letters, but I'll bet people do that a lot. So, okay, so that's the cover letter. I said, they didn't spell it out for what you should put in each paragraph. I sort of had to figure that out on my own. That's why I figured I'll make this video and tell you how to do it. Alright, then the resume. Just keep it simple. Usually 1 page is best. 2 pages, if you must. And I think they say don't staple it. So here's the sample I got off the internet, the PDF sample. I said it was a basic functional one because there are so many different kinds of resumes for so many different kinds of jobs. I'm just like, forget it. Okay, here is the functional sample resume that I found online and I used to put my resume together. I mean, they have resumes for all different kind of jobs, but I don't know, just most of us, we're just going to want something basic and simple. So this is functional. So this is functional and simple and easy. Okay, you notice his is aligned. He has his in the middle, his name, address, and notice he has his in the middle, his name, address, email, of course, and that's fine. You could do it that way. I ended up just aligning it to the left, the same as my cover letter, just to make it look even. He has one section down on employment history. He doesn't have bullets. I decided to go ahead and put the bullets in just for the sake of uniformity, and I think it looks neater with bullets on under each heading. So that's why I chose to do bullets on all of mine. It looks neater to me. And then notice the end of his sentences. He has periods at the ends of most of them. Like I said, these are not all sentences. That makes you confused and think, oh, should I put a period? But yes, just put a period to make it look good. Okay, and you'll see down here on the employment history, he has a period after Arkansas in the first sentence, but he doesn't have periods after the other two. And he doesn't have periods after the education lists. I suppose maybe you don't have to, but when in doubt, put it in. It can't hurt. So I would put the periods in, make sure there's a period at the end of each sentence, phrase, clause, whatever you want to call it. Just put a period at the end for the sake of uniformity. And there's not a whole lot I had to say about the sample, but those are two issues I wanted to bring up about the bullets and about the periods at the ends of each line. So, and I'll include a link in the description to the PDF of this resume for John Smith, and you could use it to look at as you are putting your own together. Okay, here we are onto the resume. As you can see, I continued with the block format. You put your name, address, it's info number, email address. It's like a heading. So it's like a heading on your page. So put it on your cover letter and your resume. So here, I got this from just a basic sample. And I said, just keep it simple. Keep it simple. Okay, career summary. Actress, film producer, writer, musician, and singer with a diverse array of work experience in customer service, sales, publishing, video editing, and graphic design. I sound pretty cool, don't I? Okay, secretarial experience. Lay preacher scheduling, Calvary United Methodist Church, Hawthorne, PA, 2019. Hawthorne Centennial Committee, Hawthorne, PA, 2015 to 2016. Student Theater Advisory Committee, Clarion University, Pennsylvania, 2004-2005. So then we have writing experience, writer and editor of the Hawthorne Church's newsletter, 2018 to present, self-published Growing Up Friel, a 260-page full-color family history book in 2018, self-published 2 short stories and 2 novellas on Amazon Kindle in 2015. Employment history, okay, and you always put your most recent at the top and like your oldest at the bottom. Okay, so 2017 to present, personal assistant companion for a private client. 2016 to present, transcriptionist of casting words online. 2014 to present, pianist for the Hawthorne Presbyterian Church, Hawthorne, PA. 2010 to present, pianist for the Calvary United Methodist Church, Hawthorne, PA. 206-207, waitress at the Shepherd's Inn, New Bethlehem, PA. 2003-2015, cashier cook at Burger King, New Bethlehem, PA. And then, of course, I had some college time and college work didn't include that. So just include what you can fit on here. You don't have to include every single place you've ever worked. Just as many as you can fit onto your page. Education. Legal Secretary Diploma, 2016, Penn Foster Career School online. John Russo Movie Making, Du Bois Business College, Du Bois, PA, 2009-2010. Paralegal Diploma, 2008, Stratford Career Institute. BFA, Bachelor's of Fine Arts in Acting and Theater, 2005, Clarion University of Pennsylvania. Mass Media, Cinema, Interpretive Speech, Education, 2000-2003 at Bob Jones University in Greenville, South Carolina. Okay, and so I think this format is very simple and nice. The other format, the one I copied from, some of these had bullets and some didn't. I thought, make your resume uniform, put bullets underneath each heading, bullets under each one, and also put a period at the end of each line. Even though it may not be a complete sentence, it still makes it more professional. You always put a period at the end of each line, okay? And then when you go to email it to your prospective employer, title it just something plain. I believe I titled mine Adele Smith's Resume, Adele Smith's Cover Letter. You don't want to title it something unprofessional. So, yeah. Or don't just leave it titled, a working title, like Adele's Old Resume or Adele's Angry Resume or, something like that. You don't want the file name to come to the prospective employer as something weird or something goofy. So be careful of your file name. It's just another little tiny touch of professionalism that you want to maintain as you put your best foot forward. So I think that's just about everything I have to say on the resume. Because I got my resume and my cover letter in, and I got called the next morning for interviews. Yes! I emailed it. So, and one thing, when you're applying for a job, I think make sure it's something you do want. You genuinely want. And that you genuinely have skills for. Because, I have skills that fit well with a newspaper. I've done writing, I've done publishing, I've done mass media, I do video and photography and graphic design, so I was kind of a good fit for this job already. So yeah, apply for jobs that you feel like you're really interested in and you're a good fit for. Because if you're just going around half-hearted, I don't really want this job, and I'll apply, I guess, it's not going to come off well. Anyway, now as for the borough secretaries, the resumes we looked there. The resumes I liked the most were the 2 one-page resumes. There were 2 of them that had 2 pages, and they had some different fonts and bold letters, and it was hard to read, and it wasn't neat. Didn't look neat. It looked messy, and those were stapled too. So those ones weren't as good. But anyhow, so we called the ones that had the 2 nicer resumes. So like I said, they'll try to go for 1 page and put references available upon request. The sample one that I had didn't say that, but it's probably a good idea to include just in case. Just references available upon request. And yeah, because clear and concise is best for a resume, and it's most impressive to the person looking at it. Like I said, I like looking at the clean 1-page resume, very neatly put. Okay, now on to the interviews. Now, it depends what kind of a job you're interviewing for. Me, I'm, the bubbly, outgoing type of person. So the jobs I'm usually interviewing for are the kind that require an outgoing, bubbly, customer service type of personality, okay? So if you say, oh, I'm not that kind of personality, and then you feel like I'm doomed, it doesn't necessarily matter. If you're going for a customer service position, it might be more important than if you're just going to work in a, a factory or a construction site or something. But in any case, just be yourself and be pleasant, because I think it's important to be pleasant. You usually tell a little bit about yourself. think interviewers like to see people who are at ease, that talk easily, that be flexible. Don't have a lot of limitations on what you can and can't do, because that's red flag. Red flag. Speaking of red flags, this one girl, they said they had to call her and leave messages twice before she called them back. That was a red flag, and that same girl never showed up for her interview. So, red flags. And the rule of thumb is you're supposed to be there for your interview 15 minutes early. I was 15 minutes early for my interview, and I got the job. And the girl we hired for the borough was there 15 minutes early for her interview. So 15 minutes early before your interview. And as I stress, be pleasant. And even if you're a shy person, be pleasant. I said avoid one-word answers, because that seems stiff. Because I said your personality, depending, especially if you're working with people, is important. And that the interviewers want to see that you're a pleasant person and you'd be fun to work with, because if they're going to be working with you, they'll put their opinion in of whether they like to work with you. It's not just all about your skills and education. It's also about your interaction and your human relations, interpersonal relations with your coworkers and things like that. Little tiny things can make or break getting a job. So, but yeah, there was also a video we saw one time telling you what not to do in an interview. They asked, when can you start? And he says, oh, well, I've got to go to a party this week, and next week I'm going hunting in Africa, and I'll be back. Oh, maybe in about 2 months I can start. Don't say that. And, you just got to be flexible, be available for the employer. That's what they want to see. They want to see somebody eager to get started, ready to go. That's what they want to see. So like I said, the main thing's important. And also in the interview, I've heard that you're not supposed to ask, how much money do I get? How many vacation days do I get? I mean, they'll tell you how much you're going to get paid, likely. But don't act like you want a whole bunch of money or you want a whole bunch of time off. Don't act like that, because that'll also turn them off. So, as I said, be 15 minutes early before your interview, have a nice clean one-page resume and one-page cover letter. Be at ease and be pleasant and come across as a nice personality, someone they want to work with, someone who's confident and competent, that too. So, your resume and cover letter are your introduction, but your interview is your, final exam, as it were. So, like I said, just be confident and calm and competent, and that will go a long way into helping you through a successful interview. And I said, and sometimes if you don't get the job, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're terrible or you're no good, It just means, sometimes it means that there was somebody else they already had in mind. It means that somebody else might have had just a little bit more experience than you, a little bit more skills. There's a bunch of different reasons, but just because you don't get a job doesn't mean you weren't a strong candidate. You can still be a strong candidate, but as I said, there's different factors that go into it, and I'm thankful that I was able to land the job I did. So, alright, thank you for watching. I hope this gives you some ideas, some tips, some clues on how to make a good cover letter and a good resume and ace that interview. Alright, you take care. Talk to you later.